Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with my ride or die Drew over here to talk about the power rankings and our fantasy teams. How are you doing today, Drew? You're looking a little bit different today.
Yes, thank you. I'm doing quite well. This is the closest I've gotten to abs in my life, but I'm happy to be here. Happy Halloween and getting to the festivities, talking about the challenge. And just like Raven, who is also a Teen Titans member, my ride or die Batman has also left me high and dry. So I'm here looking for a new ride or die to talk about the challenge and fight crime.
A new one? What about me? Am I just lost my ranks because I don't have a costume?
No, you are the new ride or die because Batman left me
Oh,
high and dry.
oh, amazing. Well, this was
Can
a
never
week.
trust Batman. Sorry about
Bruce
that.
Wayne? Who knew? So, well, we're here to talk about week 3, the challenge 38. What were your overall thoughts, Drew?
I actually really enjoyed this episode. I liked mainly the daily challenge and the elimination. Everything else was fine. Hearing what we could have gotten out of this week's edit, hearing back from some of the cast members, Annalise, Nerys, Raven, taken to the social media atmosphere, telling us what we could have seen. It makes me feel a little left out and a little underwhelmed looking back on the episode. But overall, I'm enjoying the season and I'm enjoying this episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode. But what did you think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And like we might as well just talk about the things that kind of disappointed us a little bit. There was a lot of chatter in the world of the challenge outside after this episode aired. Nerys and Raven went live. I did post their Instagram live, most of it anyways, on the channel. So if you want to check out what they had to say, but really first off, both of them they're anti-Johnny right now, which we can imagine is a usual sentiment after people deal with him. But there was a big fight between them that was not aired. And so I would have loved to see that fight. It would make a lot of sense when we see that scene in the club where she doesn't feel like he's her ride or die and like that she doesn't feel supported by him. We might have a little more understanding as to where that fight came from. So that was one of the things that like I wish that we had seen. Why couldn't we have seen it? There was a lot of filler stuff that was in there that we could have easily just swapped that out and let me see what happened in this fight with a main character of the episode, and ultimately they end up going home. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of their journey, you know. So that happened. I'm drawing a blank though. What else happened?
There was a fight because Jay liked Colleen and Colleen
Right.
liked Jay, and then he decided to pursue Olivia, and there was a big blowout because of that. Devin yelled at Colleen at one point, asking her to make an apology letter to him, and she
Right. Now
wrote
he
it in
wrote it in
German.
German.
It made him even more mad. So, see, those little things I think would be fun to see in the edit. But
Yeah.
my main critique is the not seeing the fight between Nerys and Raven, because like you said, there was no context to why Raven was feeling the way she was towards Johnny at that point. Like, we got the couples therapy with Nerys, Raven, and Johnny in the beginning of this episode, and then we go through the daily challenge, we go through interrogation, and then all of a sudden we get to the bar scene, and I'm like, clearly something was cut out. Why would they do this if they're showing this fight, this much of friction between these two, yet we have no context? Why they just make her, I guess they're just chalking it up like, oh, well, she just really likes Johnny.
Jealous girl.
And somehow
yeah.
this randomly just pops up. No, there's something clearly missing. And I hate, like, I get you can't show everything, but give us the context, man.
Give us the fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we watch MTV because it's a little bit messier than CBS. You know what I mean? Like they're a little bit raunchier, they're a little bit messier, they're a little bit sexier. Like that's what MTV is there for. It's the fun aunt, you know what I mean? Or the fun cousin of like stations. And so why are we getting cut out the fun stuff? I mean, maybe they it went below the belt or something like that, and maybe certain comments were made that were a little bit offside. Maybe that's why they're keeping it from us. But like, I would have liked a little bit of context. It would have helped me really be able to understand what was going on in their partnership, and also make me understand why she didn't really want to ride or die with him in the end, like for when they were in the zone. So I think it wasn't great for the storytelling, I would say, of this episode. Another thing that, I mean, okay, in general, this season so far is better than the last like 5 seasons that's been of the challenge. I might change my mind in 10 episodes, but right now, like, I'm very much enjoying it. I love what the rookies are bringing. But I was really actually frustrated with Annalise and Tommy. I thought that they made the wrong decision for the season on a whole, keeping it a little bit more balanced, level, having 2 sides fighting it out. And B, because like, I think it puts them in a worse position. They're going to be thrown in by the vets all the time, no matter what. Like, nobody's scared of them. So they'll be thrown in because they're not worried that they're going to come back and retaliate. And so I thought it would have been best for them to have pulled the safe card. When they pulled the safe card, they save Olivia and Horacio. So keep them in their good graces, keep their word to them. And then most likely Johnny and Raven are going to take out Kim and Colleen. And then they have 2 rookie teams that are super strong that the vets are scared of going head to head or going against them, and are people ahead of Annalise and Tommy. So the fact that they have now Olivia and Horacio pissed with them, if they win power, which they very easily could, I don't think that they care about keeping them safe at this point. And so I just thought it was an overall bad decision that really plays into the vets' hand. And the vets are already stronger in the sense that they have people that are willing to work with them. So that was my only kind of qualm with the episode, is that I thought that they made the wrong choice.
Yeah, and I was going to get into it a little bit more when we do the power rankings, but I think ultimately what would have been best for their game is not picking the safe dagger. If they didn't pick it, I think they were going to be in a way better spot. I don't know if you caught the live that Annalise did on.
No, but I remember seeing it pop up, and I meant to go back and search it.
So she talked about how there was a conversation that was held off camera that Fessel came to her and Tommy before going into the elimination and pretty much insisted / told them to put in Olivia and Horacio if they were to get the safe dagger, that he was going to put in Johnny and Raven from the jump. And then he wanted the 2 top rookie teams to go up against each other. And so after hearing what they said in the deliberation of like, hey, please, we want to be in the Big Brother numbers. Right. We want to go far with you guys and work with you for like, so they decided that they're going to do Fessel's dirty work basically. And so they said, yeah, we're totally going to be in the Big Brother numbers. To that, I say, you're going to be at the bottom of those Big Brother numbers. Just ask Amber how that is, how that planned out work for her. I don't even know if I made sense there. But like, it's not going to be good. They're going to be thrown in over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if they're in the quote unquote Big Brother numbers or not. I just think that they're in a terrible position. And like you said, now whatever little numbers that they had are going to turn on them when they have power.
They don't care.
Olivia and Horacio will put in vet teams or vet rookie teams that are big threats, as well as putting in Tommy and Annalise. Just be like, hey, because you did it to us, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, if Horacio and Olivia are smart, they will actually still not throw them in, because it would be best to make sure that you get a vet team out, and there's a chance that, like, if they go up against Annalise and Tommy, that they'll beat them in a lot of things. So maybe keeping them out might be better, but I don't know if they'll actually play that like fiercely. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I will see what happens. Absolutely. I'm obviously loving Olivia and Horacio. They are a great addition to the season. I was saying that Olivia is like the perfect type of challenger to me. Is that somebody that's not really that super strong, and I'm not sure how smart she is yet, whatever, but like, she's a normal person. She's just normal. And then
Mhm.
she's coming and doing kind of extraordinary things, kind of like you, Robin, in the sense that like she's what I like about the show. Like, I don't love when we see these super athletes come in and they dominate. Like, I get it. Like, you train to dominate, but she doesn't train to dominate. What is she, allergic to exercise? Is that what she said? Like, it's not her thing to be great at, and that the fact that she's really overcoming and she's showing how strong she is, like, that's what I enjoy seeing in these challengers. I don't need to see super athletes do super athlete things. Like, I like seeing regular people do extraordinary things. So I'm loving Olivia and Horacio, but they're probably going to be going down a lot. A lot. We have some
Guaranteed.
friends joining us for sure. We have 604 604 I guess. It's a cute name. Perfect timing is right. We are a little bit earlier today because I do have a Halloween party to go to. This is not my costume. I was feeling underdressed when I saw Drew here, so I put on some ears, and the other ears that people didn't seem to enjoy. I took them off and I just exchanged them for these little ears. But I will be doing a sugar skull face, so hopefully it'll look good, and I'll take some pictures. Lovable Nikki is here as usual. Thank you. Even though it's not popping up. Hi, Carly. Hello, Chris. Taylor. Carly is red. I'm loving this season so far. Feels like the good old days of the challenge. It does. And I think it's because there's people like Olivia that are just like kind of normal, and you're just seeing them try, and they want to be there, and they have like heart, you know the drill. I really hope they don't F it up anytime soon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 10 episodes from now, who knows? But we'll see. Oh, M is here. M. Yeah, so happy that you can join as well, because you could probably stay through the whole thing because she's in the future a few hours. So it's like
ooh.
Willie is here. Happy Friday, Robin, and whoever Chantele is dressed as. Is she a fairy? That's when I saw that comment. That's when I removed my whatever ears these are. God, the producers are really awful with the editing. Well, they have their own story that they want to tell, and I guess we don't know what's going to happen, so maybe that's why they're not showing us all these things. So yes, El Alana, you are catching it from the start. Even better, it's my favorite recap of the week. That's fun. Well, let's get into it, because I want to know if you have any new additions to our tiers that you want to put in there. Anything you want to swap out?
No, I don't actually. I really was gonna rack my brain to try to come up with like festive Halloween type tiers. The only one I could think of is something scared, but I really couldn't think of anything. We already have dead in there a couple of times, so I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm something about gravestones, about people being eliminated. We could do. I don't know. Dancing on the graves or something, or
well, I wasn't thinking of anything Halloween related, but Dolores in my episode recap after the episode aired suggested putting in walking living mistake as a tier category. So
yes, please.
How do you feel about that, and where do you think we should place it?
Yes, please. Walking living mistake. Well, walking infers that they're still in the game. And I don't know, maybe it should, now that Turbo is gone, should we make it instead of
I just love Pussy Chicken, but maybe we can pull Nom's Luck.
We could.
And then just place it somewhere in between. So walking living mistake.
Maybe that's the one right before the eliminated one. See you never.
Okay, so we'll just change this to walking living mistake.
That one is going to be changed like every single week, it feels like.
That's fine. That's perfect.
I really like all of our tiers right now. So,
yeah,
I mean, I really couldn't think of anything that's changing, Like, I can't think of anything. Because if we do, that's the other thing. If we change it to the Halloween festive themes, we're going to have to change it back. So, I mean, I just didn't put too much time into it while doing all my other stuff.
Hi, Kiara. Kiara. I like it. I like it. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Yes, I'm happy that you made it here to this live on time. Yes, I was really trying to understand why she was so upset, why she was so hurt, and the producers and the editors did not want to tell us. So do you agree or disagree with this statement? Tommy and Annalise are a strange casting choice. I really don't get that one. Annalise has been in the mix for a couple of seasons, at least since she was on her Big Brother season. I've been hearing her
Yeah.
name floating around. So she doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, she doesn't surprise me either. She has been an alternate, I think, one other time at least. And I think the stigma of her season really halted any kind of further progress on getting any of them on until now. I didn't I don't remember that season. I stopped watching halfway through BB20, so I don't know
Oh,
how,
good.
or BB21, so I don't know how close Annalise and Tommy were. I know that Tommy came in knowing Christy, I believe is her name, that
Hmm.
somebody dated somebody in their families. So I
Chrissy dated his aunt.
yeah, so I felt like they were closer, but I don't know.
Do you agree or disagree with Willie here? We need Davon back. She is the Big Brother player we all like.
I mean, I will never say no to Davon being on the challenge.
I
If
know,
she
right?
ever wants to come back, I want her back.
I definitely. Ooh, hold on. This is Emma's onto something here. I would love to see Olivia and Horacio take up Mariah and Fessy just as karma for putting them in. That would be delicious.
Yes, the only worry is the more eliminations you see, the more
You have a
chances you
chance
can
to
go
go home.
home. So I don't want to see them in eliminations, but like you mentioned earlier, I feel like they will go in a lot, which scares me.
I didn't know that they were alternates.
Yes, they were.
Who were was
Remember, remember they came in with Emmy and Nam after Casey, Kenny,
right.
Anissa, and James all left. So they came in as alternates.
I was thinking as when we were hearing all the cast lists, they were kind of always on it. But now that I'm thinking about it, there was a time when they weren't part of the equation, and there were other people that were on alternates. I think like Josh was an alternate. I don't know if it was this or USA. Anyways, you're right.
Corey, yeah.
Corey, which Corey?
Corey Lay was an
Oh,
alternate
right.
as well.
But wasn't he on it? But then Michaela couldn't do it anymore.
But he also was flown out as a
Oh,
alternate
like an
still.
alternate, like on-site alternate, not just rumored
Yes.
alternate. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Ooh, who's MV says, "Can we make cardio is not my vibe a tier?" This is an honorable
Hmm.
mention for sure. What do you think? Can it swap out anything?
Uh Again, it has to be lower, right? It would have to be
Yeah.
lower. It would have to be lower. I still like Right in the Fence as the middle. I feel like
Hmm.
that one is a really good moderate one. Cardio not my vibe. It's either
Well, maybe
pussy chicken or
we can change it as see you never and put it as cardio is not my vibe.
that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. I like that
Yeah.
one. Because technically we could see all these people back. Maybe.
Yeah, see you never. I mean, yeah, cardio's not my vibe. That means it's like I'm out of here. Like you're
Yeah.
done. It's not my
I'm getting
vibe.
taken off on a stretcher.
Ooh. Doesn't that happen? It looks like it happens to Nani in like the super trailer, right?
Yeah, she gets put in like a neck brace.
If I'll be really annoyed if that's the case. I don't like people getting taken out
Yeah.
for medical injuries. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
come on.
Same.
All right. So should we get to it? Should we start what we're here for? Who are we starting with, Drew? Since you are dressed up, you are in the festive spirit. Where should we start with our ranking? Or yeah, our power rankings. Mhm.
Jolly G Willikers. I was not ready for this. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? Let's save some of the more I like what we did last week where we saved a little bit more of the heavy conversation, more involved
Yeah.
players to the end.
Mhm.
And again, we have a lot of players that may not have gotten a ton of confessionals or a ton of screen time. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say this person's name again because it was exactly how it was last week for him. And that was Amber and Chauncey. Chauncey gets
Ooh.
one confessional. Amber gets nada, zip, nothing. And I don't know. I mean, we last week this happened. We put them in the right in the fence category. I feel similar, and I feel like we're going to be saying that for weeks now until they're actually either getting into power or thrown into elimination. And that scares me for somebody like Amber, who is a champion, and Chauncey, who we were all excited to see this power duo, or what we thought was a power duo, come in and play the game. Yet they are fading into the shadows way worse than Casey, because at least Casey got one confessional this episode.
I'm so in agreement with you that like I'm really frustrated. I think I picked Amber second. Like my second opportunity to pick a team. And so I was really hoping that Chauncey, he looks like a super fit person. Amber is obviously really fit. She is already a winner. She has experience being on this show and Big Brother, so she's used to the confessionals and like being on TV. And so I wish that she would just be bringing it in a little bit more. Like if she must not be doing any good confessionals if like she's not being showcased at all. So yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated with them. So where are you placing them? What's your thoughts?
Last week, this exact same thing happened, and we put them in the right in the fence category, and I feel the same way. I mean, until they do something, I mean, I don't think they're a dead team walking at this
I think they're a
point, but
dead
I
team
also think
walking,
that
kind of. Well, the reason why I'm thinking they're a dead team walking, like I totally obviously you can see them riding the fence, but like we're just waiting for them to get one confessional and you know that they're going in and probably going home, right? Like that's the vibe that I'm getting from them right now. It seems as though the people that they were working with are all being targeted. It doesn't seem like they're being brought in that we've seen anyways by Big Brother or the vets. Like it seems like they're not doing anything. I thought that this episode that Faisal was going to put them in. And so he didn't, because maybe he just didn't want to start a vet war yet or be the first person to pull the trigger in that regard and make it open fire for all, vet rookie teams. But I was worried for them. I thought that he might have done it. And so the fact that like he might have, and I thought that he might have, it just makes me think that nobody really like they're going to be the first vet rookie team that's going to go, in my opinion.
So when looking at my list of players for my review and recap, I mean, when taking a look after Raven and Johnny leave this week, you have Tommy and Annalise, Colleen and Kim, Jay and Michelle, and Olivia and Horacio as 4 teams that I feel like are going to get nominated. And then I have a feeling Amber and Chauncey would be the next team up for, say, a Nani and Bananas or a Fessel and a Mariah if they were to get in power again. So if that's the case, then they're pretty much teetering here because after this week, we still have 14, 13 teams. And if they are 6 teams, they're in the middle. So, I mean, I just don't think that they're dead yet. But them not getting any confessionals is nervous. But I will say that the season that she did win, she didn't get a lot of confessionals. So
Mary here
I
is saying, I like Amber, but
yes.
when people are not hating on her, what can she give us? And I'm just wondering if like they're not showing her because like throughout this entire season, she's not going to be giving us anything, which means that she's not going to be part of the drama. She's not going to be part of like the decision making. She's not going to win any dailies. She's just going to like wait until she's thrown down and then probably not win the elimination. I don't know. It just seems like she's waiting. We are waiting for her to go home. It seems like it.
She did. So when thinking back to what we saw, at least from the first episode, she did make an alliance with Jay, Johnny, Raven, Nerese, and that those numbers are dwindling. So I mean, if she said F the vets and went to the rookies, and those numbers are dwindling, and she's not getting any confessionals. Chauncey's getting 1 a week. I will succumb to the dead team walking. But I will still hold true that I I am 1 foot in riding the fence and 1 foot in dead team walking, just for the sole fact that she did not get a ton of confessionals, and
in
possibly an
general.
under the radar game is better than being upfront and vocal like she was last season, and she got thrown in like two to three times, and it didn't work out for her. So, but I
Well,
will succumb to this because I can see where you're coming from.
well, riding the fence also implies that like you are juggling between two things, and we haven't seen that even, right? Like she's
Mm,
not making a decision, but like we're not even seeing that she has two sides that she like we are giving the game that she's playing to her. She hasn't shown us that she's doing anything, right? So that's why I
true,
think she's not team walking. I mean, I could be convinced to
true.
be riding the fence, but like I like convincing you instead. So thanks
No,
for succumbing.
I think that final point really locked me into. I'll put 1 foot and then all my other foot except one pinky toe over into riding the fence. But I mean, I think you're right with the team walking for this exercise. After 2 weeks of absolute nothing, and I think in her heat she wasn't even in the top 3. And yeah, that's not looking good. That's not looking good for a team that we felt was dominant or going to
Top,
be dominant physically.
top. I
And
thought they were going to
yeah,
be top team. I thought that they were
yeah,
going to be winning everything and having a lot of power. And I was being like, oh, she's going to gather the rookies together, and they're going to be the leader of the rookies, and they're going to have so much power. Like that's what I was giving to them preseason, and like
yeah,
they've given me rookie team, to be honest.
yeah.
Like I think that this is a hot take, but maybe Tommy and Annalise are giving more than they are.
Oh, maybe, maybe. I
Hmm.
mean, Tommy and Annalise got a lot of confessionals this episode, but got Jack Diddley the last episode. They
True.
got nothing. Neither one
Well,
got nothing.
should we talk? No, we shouldn't talk about them yet. Okay, so let's do another team that is a vet rookie team that's a little bit boring.
Keeping on with the Big
Um,
Brother.
yeah, let's just keep it with the boring Big Brother players that have come out. So Casey and Kenny. I I actually was excited like when they came on. Like I thought that it had like not for what they brought to the game, but like that I felt that that moment was kind of a little bit epic, and I was a little bit emotional about it. I was like so happy for Nani because she was so upset that Casey wasn't going to be there. So just like that moment was cool. But all she really did this episode, from my memory, anyways, was bring up a manufactured conversation with Fessel about his name. Like, I know that probably the producers were like, "Hey, like, can you talk about this because we want to bring it into the show?" Or maybe he said that he wanted to have this conversation, which is totally fine for him to want to share his name and his culture, whatnot. But that's all she really brought to this episode, and she didn't really even sell it to me as like being an authentic conversation. So I think that Casey and Kenny are riding the fence here. I mean, I think that they're doing a little bit more than Dead Team Walking. I feel like they're a little bit more insulated. We do hear that Fessy say that Casey and Kenny are a team that he is working with, so they were protected this episode. So which is makes me feel as though they are a little bit above Dead Team Walking of Amber and Chauncey.
Yeah, just for their potential alone, I think we could say that they are going to be a team that can perform when called upon. I just think that yeah, it's just total neutral. It's just they're not there. I think to win. I think Casey's just there because her and
Help
Nani's
Nani.
relationship get that representation out there, as well as Casey doing everything she can to make help Nani win and be that support system for her. So I'm pretty neutral on Casey. I think they had one confessional during the daily, and that was the we have twin powers or whatever, and we can talk without even talking. And I'm like, okay, that's why you're not getting confessionals, is you're not talking. Cool,
Are they talking?
whatever.
Is she talking telepathically to us as well? Like, is she really animated in her telepathic conversations that she's having with us, the audience? Sorry, go
It's
on.
so bad. It was such a dumb confessional just to say like, oh yeah, that's the one confessional you get is a joint one with your brother. Like I'm so like over it. I'm already like wanting them to just walk out. I don't know
Right.
why they had to even come back into the game. Honestly, they're not giving me anything.
I don't know if I don't know who is worse, we'll say. I mean, Casey had a confession. Well, Casey was on like our screen this episode. Amber wasn't. So, there's that. Who do you have next?
All right, let's take a look. Let's go. Okay, let's go with a team that got nothing, no confessionals whatsoever. Or Jay got some confessionals. I want to talk about Jay and Michelle. Michelle got no confessionals. Jay got like one or two. I think it's plain to see that Jay and Michelle are not doing so hot. And then we have yet another vet pair coming in to bolster the banana bunch and those numbers. And we also have a team that they were riding strong with gone out of this game. They saved them last episode to then be gone this episode. I think it's quite easy to say that Jay and Michelle are dead team walking, in my opinion. They didn't do a whole lot this episode to make me feel like they should go lower, but lose another alliance member, start getting into more house drama, be nominated one or two more times, and I'm nervous. Like I'm really nervous.
I don't have any arguments for putting them anywhere else. I mean, maybe we could put her in the walking living mistake category for the fact that she's one of the people on Faisal's bed roster.
Ugh.
So
Maybe that
maybe
saved them this episode.
probably actually. So oh my gosh, that yeah, I guess they're dead team walking because, like, what are they riding the fence? Not really. We kind of know where they stand.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're pussy chicken level 3, level 2, whatever. I mean, walking living mistake. It could be maybe their partnership is a walking living mistake because didn't they weren't they canoodling before they decided to become partners on the show? And like they're not intimate now, but they were at one point, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they used to date.
And so, could be walking living mistake.
I feel like they didn't do a whole lot this episode to see, this is the thing. Fessel wanted to make the most neutral decision. He did make a decision. He's totally in with the vets on the vet side. But he wanted to make the most safe decision ever by putting in all rookies. Now, he did nominate Annalise, who Banana said that Fessel was like talking with, at least. He was also putting Colleen, who he has hot tub time with and is wanting to pursue. So, I mean, he could have put in Jay and Michelle. I'm sure Bananas was in his ear talking about possibly doing that, but he didn't. So I feel like if Fessel would have done that, that's when I would have put him lower, because I think they do have their feet in different camps to where they're going to be just safe enough, but they're always going to be on somebody's radar. And at this point, I feel like they're decent, at least.
So dead team walking's where you're thinking? That's where you want
I'm
them?
thinking I'm pretty solid on dead team walking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them winning a daily. And I don't see them evading elimination.
But what if they were to win?
That'd be great.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing for the show. Please make it happen.
I just don't know if they've got it in them.
Well,
I think that they both are good separately. I don't know if they're great together. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that also scares me too, because now thinking about it and you saying that, I mean, they were not on the same page last episode. And Michelle's super in with Nani. Jay is super in with the rookies. What would they do if they got into power? I worry that maybe they take the safe route. And I'm not thrilled to think about that option now. Okay, Switch plans. Olivia and Horacio. What if they win? Oh my gosh. Incredible. They'll do a great job.
Most likely, yes, they will do a great job. Should we change a category to less confessionals than Kayla and Sam? Did they had a couple.
They had 9 each in the first episode.
Yeah, so that's quite a few actually. Who has the least
Currently,
right now?
3
Mhm.
currently 3 episodes in, Casey and Kenny have only 7 confessionals. But they lost out on the whole first episode. Amber and Chauncey, who have been in the game the whole time, has 9 confessionals, and Colleen and Kim have 7 total confessionals. So those 3 have the worst confessionals. Kayla and Sam got 9 each in the first episode alone. So, yeesh.
Yeah,
Maybe it
have
should
to
be
be
one less confessional than Amber. Yikes.
Brutal. Did I pick that one? Or did you?
I picked Michelle and Jay.
Okay,
I'm
so
odds. So we have 3 up there.
Gotcha. So I think then, well, we might as well just talk about the no confessional team of Colleen and Kim. I mean, I know that they were in the draw, but like they still didn't really bring that much to the episode. Are you cool to go with them, or do you want to go with someone else?
No, I'm cool with that.
I don't know. I think that they might be Pussy Chicken because it seems as though they just don't want to go into elimination. She does mention that she needs to do a little more politicking, which I'm happy that she's knows that she needs to do that. And then, we do see her talking to Fessy and for the fact that they have their hot tub time, that, maybe he likes her and she likes him, that maybe he could save her from actually going down into the elimination. So, but I just think that they're scared to go in. So that's why I think Pussy Chicken for them.
See, I was in between Pussy Chicken, but also thinking of Walking Living Mistake, because she is thinking about doing the unthinkable and being involved with Fessel and being in his roster, which he just put you in. He just nominated you, and you're cool with doing hot tub time. You're cool with just hanging out, getting into the bed after Michelle, who stayed there the night. Then what? Are you going to take numbers like it's a deli counter? And you're going to get in and take a number after Laurel, who jumps in after Michelle gets up? Like, what are we doing here? And Kim's getting nothing. He got 1 confessional this whole time. So I personally would be more closer to Walking Living Mistake for 1, getting involved with Fessel, thinking that possibly maybe that could help you, which it will not. It definitely will not. And they've been nominated twice already. So I feel like mix that situation up, and it's a perfect storm to see way more eliminations, and you're out of here.
Yeah, you've sold me on the Fessel element of this. Being content with being 1 of 4, like it's not great, and it's not even saving you from being put down. Like, it saved everybody else. Well, not Annalise, I guess,
yeah,
but it saved the 2, I think, people that have potentially more power than she does, and so I don't think that she should be maybe working her magic with somebody else and spending time getting to know some other people that maybe will be willing to actually work with her and save her. He's just having a fun time, and I don't think that if he wants to throw her in, he will. I don't think that there will be anything stopping him. So I can fold here with you and go Walking Living Mistake, because I don't think that that's going to help their game at all.
Sweet deal. Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
At all. But I think it's your turn next.
Let's just go for another team that did not get a ton of confessionals. And I have no idea where I'm going to put them. Laurel and Jack. They got 0 screen time realistically. Another kind of low down performance a little bit. It's kind of muted. They're a team that's muted this season as of right now. Really haven't been able to perform in the daily challenges. Laurel's coming back. We know the fire that she brings, and you're excited. We were excited to see Laurel back. This is like her first season without Cara Maria, and we're like, what could happen? She's gonna want redemption, and no confessionals this whole episode. That's weird. Turbo gets out of here, and guess what? Laurel disappears into the background. It doesn't really have a storyline, and she's not really upset about anybody or wanting to get anybody out. And she kind of just fades into the background. Jack gets one confessional talking about Olivia being a Barbie beast, and that's it. So, I mean, they have ties. We know that they could compete. We know what Laurel's her potential is in the game and her legacy, and she is a champion in the game. It's just their performance is pretty underwhelming to me at this point. Yes, we're only 3 episodes in, but I mean, I just thought they would do better, especially in a daily challenge like this one. So I don't think they're necessarily riding the fence, but I'm tempted to put them in there because they just haven't done enough in the game for me to feel like they're stirring the pot anymore. I feel like the pot has been put on simmer and it stopped bubbling, and I'm checking to see if the burner is even on anymore, you know?
Ooh. Well, I hear your points for sure. But what about stirring the pot in the sense that she's part of this Fessel roster women, but then she's also, and it's seemingly that she is kind of annoying Fessel with the fact that he seems to be jealous that people are also going over to Horatio. And so he's saying, or Horacio, he thinks, or is saying to us anyways, that, oh, the reason why they're doing that is because like he's the second best, he's getting my seconds. But I think he's jealous of the fact that, you know, if they don't, he doesn't want them, like they don't care, they have somebody else that they're interested in. So I'm wondering if that could be considered stirring the pot a little bit.
Possibly. I just don't think anything's like coming from the Horatio like love connection that way.
That's true.
I don't know what's going on with Fessel and what cologne he's wearing this season, but it's driving the ladies wild. Oh man, I almost want to. I almost want to put everybody that they named dealing with Fessel in Walking Living Mistake, almost, but not Laurel and Jack. I just don't think they're doing a whole lot to stirring the pot. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, like with their actions, we're seeing them, but you're right. They're not actually actively doing things to shake up the game this episode anyways. And so
could they have just decided to put things in neutral after Bananas and Nani comes in, win into power, and now you got Jordan and Anissa coming in and their numbers are getting bolstered up, and they're just like, oh, well, with Turbo gone, that's a sore in my side kind of gone, and I'm getting numbers just added to my roster without me even trying. Like, all right, I'll just go chill with Fessel and Horatio and just have a fun time. I mean, she doesn't even like get upset with Jack, which I'm glad, because maybe they're actually true friends. But we've seen her like come at her partners when she doesn't feel like they're living up to their potential. But then again, that's been years now. So maybe she's turned a new leaf. Maybe she's learned something after these years. But I just feel like there's no urgency at this point. There's nothing.
But she did have some urgency in the elimination for yelling at Horacio and like being like, use your leg, get low, like definitely giving some motivation. So that's maybe a little bit stirring the pot, like showing who she would prefer to have come back.
I think everybody was rooting for Olivia and Horatio, though. I think nobody wanted Johnny and Raven back, at least on that side of the house. So I don't think she was like really choosing sides at that point.
Okay. Well, wouldn't that be right in the fence though?
Could be.
Okay. Okay, not stirring the pot because they didn't do anything actively to move the needle on the game. So I would say, I guess she's not exactly riding the fence, but they're definitely not making any waves with the rookie, with the vets. So I do think that she has a little bit of an in there with Horacio and Olivia. I don't think that there'll be a chance if they win power that she will go in. But I do think that they're playing a little bit of a. Should we throw it into Pussy Chicken? Is it a Pussy Chicken game? Is that what it is?
I'm not on that train yet. I'm not on that train yet. But give me a couple episodes of no confessionals from Laurel. I mean, she is a champ. They made a big deal about her in the Untold History documentary, talking about the goats of the game, and she comes in and gets 0 confessionals. I feel like we're watching Vacation Laurel and not Competition Laurel. That's how I feel like what I'm watching at this point.
So MV here says, I think Laurel is more trying for connections for possible future seasons instead of using intimidation. So maybe that's what it is. Or maybe she's just actually like grown. Yeah. And she's just like not being as messy as she has been in the past. Or she doesn't feel, she's not in the hot seat at all.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of safe for a while.
And that could be like considered riding the fence a little bit of like, I'm wanting to just test the waters with everybody, get some new connections. If I come back, I come back. At least I got a regime behind me.
Who's ahead of whom if we put these in order as well? So do you think that Jack and Laurel are doing better than Kenny and Casey, or do you think this is the right order?
I feel like that's the right order. Maybe.
I agree. I think Kenny and Casey are set up a bit better.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. If Nani was in charge and had to choose one of those two teams, she's gonna completely throw Laurel and Jack in, like easily, if it came down to those two teams.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the same thing with Devin and Tori, I feel, because they don't want to lose Bananas and Nani, so they wouldn't want to target Casey and Kenny. So I could see like it trickles down to Casey and Kenny and not wanting, like, they're more connected with Fessel and all those. So yeah, I would agree with that.
And same, what about Dead Team Walking? Do we feel like this is the right order too?
I think that Jay and Michelle, man, I think that they're
both in terrible positions so far.
Yeah, they're both in like the same alliance. They're both in the same terrible positions. I just feel like Jay and Michelle are a little bit more entertaining on the season at this point, and
put them forward because they do have potentially Nani and Bananas. Well, maybe not. Like shit.
What about Fessel? Fessel would throw in Amber and Chauncey, so maybe the connection with Jay and Michelle would work out a little bit better. Maybe that works out. Olivia and Horacio wouldn't target them either,
True.
So I can see that.
I'm good with this.
We'll do that for now.
What do you got next?
Oh, my turn again. Let's go. Oh man. Okay, we're getting into the nitty gritty. As you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. Bananas and Nani.
Oh.
Surprisingly, little confessionals from either one of them. Bananas got 3, Nani got 1. They were in third place, I believe, in their heat on the daily challenge, which was stacked. It was 6 teams, but they were, I think, in third place. And to me, they were outpacing Anissa and Jordan, and Laurel and Jack, Amber and Chauncey, to be just behind the rookie sensation teams. To me, I think that they're either stirring the pot or earn their stripes. I don't think they're anything lower. I think they're in a really good spot, and they're getting more numbers added in as Johnny and Raven were exiting, and they were like the biggest critics of them. So yeah, I would put them in either one of those two categories.
I would put them in stirring the pot for the scene that we have with Johnny kind of going in to talk with Annalise and Tommy after the daily. Because I feel like what Johnny did this episode was he started solidifying himself with some of the rookies. And so he kind of befriended Tommy and Annalise in this position. You know what I mean? It could have been because Fessel and Mariah were the winners here. And so he wants to be like, hey, we're still on your side, like we did bad too. And so it's not like stirring the pot in like a messy way, but it's definitely stirring the pot in like kind of influencing, we'll say, the rookies now. And I also wonder, and you can tell if you agree with me with this or not, if he threw that challenge with Nani because he wanted to potentially have Faisal win this leg. And if he's not going his hardest, I think it's possible that the two rookie teams aren't going to necessarily outpace Faisal and Mariah. So I was wondering if that's why he wasn't going super hard, because he didn't want to come across super strong again and be in that power position again. And then also it allows the two rookie teams to not be competing as fast as they would need to be competing in order to beat Fessel. So what are your thoughts about that? I'm thinking that he might have deliberately slowed down his pace for the daily because he wanted to see what Fessel would do.
I don't know. I feel like even if he slowed his pace down a little bit, I feel like Horacio, Olivia, Johnny, and Raven were just like super fast on this one. I don't think maybe he was deciding to conserve his energy after seeing how those teams like bolted out right out the gate, and he's like, all right, cool, I'll just pray that Fessel can win this thing, and I won't overexert myself. I don't want to hurt either one of us trying to like pull Nani's shoulder out or pull a hammy trying to run this barrel down, as these young guns of 28 years old and 26-year-olds are running and carrying these barrels. He could have thrown it, but I think that if he would have thrown it to the two rookie teams up ahead, I think that's scary for him, because if Johnny and Raven win, I 100% think that they're nominating Bananas and Nani to throw down there. So I feel like that would be a huge risk if he was. Now, if you ask him, he'll probably say, yes, I threw it because I'm that. If I don't win challenges, I throw them because I'm just that good, But I think that's an interesting point. I also agree with where you put them in pot stirring because of the scene with him coming to Jordan and basically being like, I love that you're here.
Mm-hmm.
This is so great. I just did a video of the challenge ego checks where it was the Bananas and Jordan in free agents, where he flipped all the kill cards and they were at each other's throats. And now Johnny's here going like, oh yeah, we're best friends. I love that you're here. Thank you so much. We're going to work together. And then also the stuff on top of what Nerisse said that was cut out of the show, that apparently Bananas and Devin were the one that kind of stirred the pot to get Nerisse and Raven yelling at each other, and then ultimately turned on Johnny. And then, which I think could have led to where the mental space was, and that they weren't ready for the elimination against Olivia and Horacio. So I do think I 100% agree with stirring the pot for Bananas and Nani.
Sweet. 1-1. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Who do you have next?
Well, I just mentioned them, and we're starting to get into the teams now that we can really start talking into and diving into. And I just talked about them. Devin and Tori was in here. Tori, of course, got good amount of screen time because Jordan comes walking in. They have a lot of history with each other, trying to see where they lie mentally and what are they going to do in this game together again. And I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous for this reunion a little bit until we actually hear them talking in the confessionals about each other, and they're very supportive of each other. And so I feel like they're 100% going to be supportive of one another as of right now. The first night in the house together. We'll just wait till that pot gets stirred. Jordan gets over with Nerisse a little bit, and I think that it could get a little bit hairier. But for now, I think they're in a good spot. And I think that if Bananas is getting stirring the pot, and then we need Devin, his Robin to his Batman, it needs to be in stirring the pot as well, especially with the the stuff that wasn't aired where he's yelling at Colleen, asking for an apology letter, and then him and Bananas manipulating Nerys and Raven to have a fight with each other. And I think that Devin and Bananas are like the little pranksters running around the house. So I feel like they're solidly in pot stirring.
Yeah, I mean,
at
like
this point.
the fact that he got her to write a letter, an apology letter, like that's like so stirring the pot category, and not intentionally, but her interactions and her relationship with Jordan ultimately is a pot stirring scenario. And so like she's not doing it to be like malicious and like game body and like, you know, stirring the pot to like create drama, but she does have drama that is around her from her relationship with Jordan. And so I think it's an unintentional pot stir from her and always intentional pot stirs from Devin. So I don't see them anywhere else this episode.
Yeah. 100%. And that scene, I will say that I feel like with Tori, we've kind of gotten this like I don't want to rag on Tori because people have done it for years, but I just want to say like there's something different about her this season that I feel like we're actually seeing something more real and something more deep to her. It reminds me of her rookie season where she just came in. She was legit herself. I felt like there was a connection. I was actually liking Tori in her rookie season. And then every season preceding that season, it just felt like something was additive to it. Her personality was a little bit more put on. She was a little bit more bolsterous. She was a little bit more like goofy. And it felt like she rehearsed some of her lines for her confessionals. And then this season comes around and she's actually dealing with a lot of real life stuff and talking about a lot of deep things. That are very important, her mental health and everything, and getting help, and her relationship to Jordan and the breakup. And we kind of saw that on social media. And I just feel like we're actually getting something real on reality TV. And to me, that scene in the bar scene was like so like raw, in my opinion. They did cut it out. Yeah, it was a lot. It was very emotional. I watched this episode like 2 or 3 times, and it was like that scene. It was heavy. It was heavy with a lot of emotion. And when they hugged, I was like, oh man, that really cut me. That was great.
It was a very good scene. I was thinking of like ripping it off for like like in like writing because I was like, this is a good scene. Like if I were to transcribe it and been like a nice moment between 2 actors or real people in this sense. I have to agree with you. I haven't been a fan of Tori in the last little bit, and you know, she was just kind of annoying me, and like I think it's because I didn't feel like she was coming from an authentic place. It seems like she was showing up as a character who she thought we wanted to see, and I just was like, I just always felt that it was always false. And so I agree, like her first season I was super team Tori. I thought she was like nice badass, like, and then it changed. And so I do feel I agree 100% with you, and I said it like that was one of the first things. I'm like, I really like Tori this episode so far this season. I'm kind of rooting for her. I loved how she dealt with the situation with Jordan. Like I think all around this episode really rebranded Tori for me. And right now, I'm a fan. I like her. I'm back to how I used to like her first season. So yeah, I agree with you. She has definitely put in some work and turned over a new leaf, we'll say. Ooh, that could be a category next time. Are we on the odds now or the evens? Was that me? Was that you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I think 7. That was me.
You. Oh, but I'm putting into the 8 one. Okay. Let's put in. Well, let's just talk about her counterpart here. Like counterparts, you know, we have Jordan and Anissa. I actually do not know where to put them. Maybe they have to go into stirring the pot as well because they're both involved with Tori. Obviously, Anissa is Tori's best friend. Jordan obviously is Tori's ex. And we already saw Anissa talking to Tori about the situation. And, you know, it's not stirring the pot in a negative way, but like she is involved in what could potentially be some drama. So maybe putting them in stirring the pot? I don't know. How do you feel?
This one's tough. I was thinking about this one, I think, earlier today, and just knowing their history with each other, and they're not really ride or dies. It's tough. It's tough to even think that they're not riding the fence. I don't think they're scared at all. They're not a dead team walking because they do have friends. I mean, Tori's going to look
Oh
out for
boy.
her Anissa the whole time, and it's just difficult. It's difficult. So I think stirring the pot, especially for this episode, is good. But if something happens to where we feel like they're not stirring the pot anymore, I'm going to be nervous at where we could put them because I just don't know. It's a very hot and cold team, you know? Like Jordan's in here and you're like you got to give him the respect. He can win against anybody, doing anything. And then you have Anissa on the other side and they were I think dead last this in their heat this past week and it's like I'm glad Jordan has some numbers in the game. I'm glad Anissa has some numbers in the game. I'm just worried about them performing week to week. And we saw Jordan being supportive this episode. What happens the next coming episodes? It's kind of like the same thing with Laurel. Like she's fine with Jack now, but when push comes to shove and teams start falling away and they're desperate for a win, just wait until something kind of stumbles. And then you're like, oh, well, there's the Laurel we all know, or there's the Jordan that we all know. But again, could change. Could have changed over the years. See what happens. He was good on All Stars. He didn't really get into fights with anybody over there. So I don't know. This one's weird. It's a weird vibe.
Where are you putting him?
I said stirring the pot.
Oh, okay.
I think for what we said about Tori and Jordan coming in, I guess we would just do that.
Yes, Jilly Donut, can you tell me what happened here? This was another thing that we didn't get to see. Mariah and Anissa did have some sort of fight, so that could be considered a stirring the pot moment as well that wasn't aired. Do you have any details of this fight? I don't remember.
Mariah, I saw on social media, or people said that Mariah mentioned that Anissa was very rude to some of the rookies, mostly her, and was very standoffish. So I feel like Anissa is really like, I'm a vet. I'm in the numbers. I'm good. I don't need to talk to any rookies, whatever. You know, like I'm just going to do what I'm going to do and I'm going to hang around with who I want to hang around. And I don't need to add any extra to the conversations.
But
So
she wasn't wearing a bra when they went out to the club. And she definitely had Kim like biting her shirt as he kind of used her body as a pole. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe Mariah was just like getting rubbed the wrong way from Anissa. I don't know.
maybe.
I mean, maybe she's just like, I'm a vet, like I don't need to talk to you. Maybe she has that vibe. But I just don't see her. Is she like that? I don't actually know.
I will say that maybe she's not like this all the time, but this is very similar to what people were saying, at least in the house, from the itty bitty committee in Double Agents, where they were feeling some type of way about Tori and Anissa and how they were being treated by them to the point where they wanted to throw them into elimination against each other. So maybe this is sort of like a new entitlement thing that they just feel against the rookies or the new people that, oh, I've been here for what, 14 seasons, 15 seasons. You might be here for a season or two. And then talk to me if you're here for 4 seasons later down the line.
Okay, I gotta say that you said something that reminded me of an attitude that I've had in the past in places that I've worked at for a very long time. And so if I've say worked like for like 4 or 5 years at a certain place and the new person comes in, I remember in the past being like, I'm not even gonna bother learning their names because they're probably not gonna be here for that long. And I definitely think that I understand possibly how maybe Tori or Anissa might be acting that way. It's just being like, it does take a lot of energy to get to know new people. And if it's not really going to help your game that much, like maybe, yeah, it does. You don't care. But I do understand like rookies feeling a type of way of like hoping to have them be friendly and part of this experience and want them to be there and still forget that what it's like, remember what it's like to be new, and allow them to enjoy their experience. But I think I understand though what Anissa and others might be doing. Right. Oopsie. Notori said she didn't want to be fake and then send them into elimination. That's true too.
True.
Because you also need to have people that you're willing to throw in. I never talked to you. So that's also could be part strategy as well. But I think the fact that she has some beef with people, I think that's a stirring the pot tier for sure.
Yes.
Remember when Anissa only came back once every 5 seasons? She's the face of the challenge podcast. So I think that they need her to come back to make people understand why she's talking about the show. Kinda. All right, who do you have next?
I can't believe we have not even talked about them yet. I guess they were in the drama, so I thought we would talk about them before we did Tori and Devin and Jordan and stuff. But let's talk about Nelson and Nerys. I actually think that Bananas already solidified where I was going to put them from this past week's episode, from the conversation he was having with Jordan in riding the fence. I feel like this is a team that is still competitive despite never winning a daily challenge yet, but they have come close. They were second place behind Fessel and Mariah this episode, which I feel like they're in the running, but they're not viewed as a big threat. They're not viewed as going towards the rookie teams. They're not really, they're waiting for a time to pick a side, but if they never win a daily challenge, they never really have to pick a side. But Bananas was talking about Fessel and Nelson needing to win to see where their cards are.
Oh.
But I think that they are an actually solid duo, Nelson and Nerys. And I would say that with Johnny leaving this episode, you get out of that whole drama space. You get out of, we're tied to the rookie alliance now. Nerys has no need to be there. She could be friendly with them and still say we're good. But if they don't win into power, they don't have to worry about going back on their word or doing this, that, or other. But that that tie is severed, where she doesn't have to look out for them if she doesn't need to, because Johnny isn't there, and she doesn't have to fight with Raven there anymore. So I feel like they're going to be more focused going down the line, and I think they're going to be able to play their own game. I do think that they're riding the fence, though,
definitely,
as of this moment. So that's where I would put them.
I don't think you convinced me of any other level for these two. The fact that Johnny's calling him and Fessel out of being people that are playing the middle, which is riding the fence. And I agree. I don't know. I think you said in one of your videos that, maybe I'm making it up, that you think that Nelson might win a daily this season. Yes. I don't know if I do. The fact that it's becoming a gag, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to be the whole season, every single week. We're going to have either the producers say something, or Nerys say something, or him say something about him not winning a daily. And so he's not going to have any power. And when you don't have any power, you can't make any decisions. And if he won power, he'd probably go with the vets. But I just think that I don't think he's going to win any power. I think he's just going to ride the middle until he gets thrown in and go home. Love you. Who do we have next? Let's do, I guess we're coming into teams that were all part of the action. So let's go Tommy and Annalise. So I already mentioned at the beginning of this pod that I wasn't really happy with their decision. I think pussy chicken, maybe. I was thinking dead team walking, but like they're also terrified of going in for the fact that they consider themselves to be the strongest two people, and they are scared that people are going to just keep throwing them in. They're worried that because of their size, they're not going to be taken seriously. So I just think that they are playing a little bit of a scared game. The fact that it seems as though they're more worried about what the vets are going to be saying about them, or the vets being mad at them, that they didn't actually make the right decision for their game. And I think that's kind of a bit of a pussy chicken move. So right now, yeah, for me, Tommy and Annalise are pussy chicken.
Yes. So coming into this, I was thinking of exactly where you put them, or with the new tier, I was almost thinking about putting them down to walking living mistake because of the move that they made. Now, you can say what you will with Annalise saying that Fessel came to her wanting them to put in Olivia and Horatio, that she said that her and Tommy didn't necessarily make two different deals that were the same deal of keeping Colleen and Kim safe. They just said that, hey, we can help each other out, is what she says in her live. That she's like, we didn't necessarily make a deal guaranteeing that we would keep them safe. We just said, yeah, we would like to help each other out, you know? But you can mix around the wording or anything, but I feel the intention is there. That's what I feel. And I feel when you make a deal like that,
So bad.
it's not really staking a claim anywhere. It's basically saying, I'm going to hedge my bets and hope I don't have to make the decision. And guess what? You got stuck with the decision. And like we mentioned earlier, Fessel brings you in with this deal to do the dirty work, the vet's dirty work, and just like Emmy last year. But you're going to be in the bottom of the Big Brother numbers. You're going to be at the bottom now of the rookie numbers. I don't even think they're not even in the all rookie alliance that Jay and Michelle were doing. I don't think. I mean, at least they were not in that room that I saw. I'm sure Jay and Annalise have this like understanding that they will look out for each other, but I just feel like they're in a terrible position. And after seeing how they performed in the daily challenge, how they performed in every daily challenge thus far, I think that it's not looking good for them to get into power anytime soon. And being a rookie team, they're going to be sent in over and over and over again. And I want to bring this up. They were seen, like you were talking about with the bananas thing, they were seen crying in their room over not doing well in a daily challenge. This is episode 3. Only one team can win the daily challenge every single week. And you're crying in episode 3 because 1, you did poorly, and 2, you don't want to be perceived weak in the house. I'm sorry, but
Crying is
to
weak
me,
in this sense.
that mental strength, I just don't think is there. I think they're getting into their own heads already. So, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head by putting them there. I just feel very strongly that they sunk their own game. I don't care what they say. I don't care who came up to them and approached them with a deal. That deal is not going to be kept. Like that deal, Bananas and Nani, when they get into power, they're going to be like, that was Fessel's deal. Guess what? You're in my world now, and I'm going to send you in, kind of thing.
Well, the one thing they have going for them is the fact that they are small and that people will want to go against them in the final, or if they have to go down, pulling them in the draw, I think would be great for them, most people. So maybe they'll be able to evade going down into the zone for the fact that they kind of are considered a layup, but they're going to have to make it through a few weeks before they're in that position. So MV here is saying listening to Fessy is already deserving of walking living mistake. So we could take them down from pussy chicken to walking living mistake. How do you feel, Drew?
I would actually be more on board with putting them down one more level, because I feel like they're gonna have a spot ready for them in the zone every single week until they either win into power or they're eliminated. I just feel like they have no safety anywhere. They don't have a safety valve anywhere in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes down to that, what I feel is a mistake of talking too much to Colleen and Kim, and then talking too much to Olivia and Horatio, which then going back on the word just like that.
Yeah, it was such a bad move. So bad. So bad. It's your go, I think. Isn't it? Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that one's out of the way because I was a little bit heated coming into this episode, ready to talk about it. I guess we'll talk about the people that were eliminated just real quick. I guess with Raven and Johnny. Why? To me, they were an incredible duo. They were great. They were great together when they had to perform, but outside of challenges, just not good at all. They were never on the same page. And I just want to throw this out there. I feel so bad for Raven because it sounds like Johnny got her to come onto the challenge under false pretenses that maybe they would kindle something into more than a friendship, and then ditched her the first second they got there. I mean, they were at the airport and having drinks with Nerys. At least that's what the cast was saying. So to
Mhm.
me, it's like we didn't even board the plane yet. The game hadn't even started yet. And you ditched out on your partner who came under the skies that, oh, we're going to maybe find something more than just a friendship. Absolutely crazy, crazy messy. I feel so bad for her. Johnny talks about not wanting drama. It follows him every show that he goes. And I think he's the problem. I don't think it's all the women you get involved with, Johnny. I think it's you.
Well,
I think it's you, and I think you like it.
the
I
fact
think
that
you like it.
Nerys has him blocked on all social media, it's and
Yes.
Nerys is chill, right? Like Nerys, she doesn't have no chill in the sense that she'll clap back, she will speak her mind, speak her truth, but like she doesn't. I don't think anymore she allows like big dramas to come around in like kind of like a relationship sense, and so like she was pretty chill with what was going on with her and Johnny. She says in her lie that she knows that he's like 5 years younger than her, like what type of guy he is. But like for the fact that she like just completely cut him off and was like, "You're blocked," it just must mean that he must be a real big dick. Right? Because like I feel like she gets along with people. Like look how she gets along with Nelson. They had their own history together. And she even mentions on her live that for the most part, all of her exes, like they would still do anything for her, kind of thing. So I just the fact
Mhm.
that he's cut off is problematic, and it's just like Johnny is just so bad. I mean, it's entertaining. Obviously, he's only 23, so I have to like remember that he's learning how to be a good-looking guy on reality TV. So fine, I get it. He seems like he's going to go on like the Corey trajectory of the show. So
Yeah.
maybe in like 5 years, he's going to have a baby mama and he's going to be on Team Mom OGs or something. I don't know, but Crystal's also saying here, this is interesting too. I know this is past, but the fight between Norris and Raven, they had it on the in the bathroom where there were no cameras. That's what Tori and Anissa said on their podcast. That's interesting too. Why did they not have? I mean, you don't want to have any cameras in the bathroom, but like, I wish that we got to know more about this fight. So with these two, though, where the heck do I want to put them? I might want to put
What's
them
at the
on
very bottom?
Yeah, I'm thinking walking or cardio is not my vibe, or walking live a mistake. I think walking live a mistake.
Either or. I mean, we're putting all the we put
Oh
all
yeah, they're
the
out. They're out. Okay,
eliminated
they're
all
out.
at the
Right,
bottom.
of course. I
But I
think that
do
they're at
think that they
the
were
front.
a mistake. Yes, they are.
I,
They're the one of the better ones. They at least won a daily challenge and came in second place. Or no, they came in second place overall in this whole daily challenge. Like
Mhm.
they were actually really strong.
But his walking living mistakes have cost them from actually doing better. If
Yes.
he just had like connected with Raven, like the intention of like bringing her onto the show, I think they could have done really really well. She was ready to be there and to fight, and she just wanted a supportive partner, and he's was like, well, we could just be supportive partners in the game and like let me bang whoever I want. And it's kind of like, that's not going to work when you told me that we're coming here for a relationship. So
Exactly.
yeah, cardio's not my vibe because you're out of there, but you're on the cusp of just being a walking living mistake if you had stayed in the game.
Yes, 100%. This would have been their second week in a row being nominated if somehow they went up, say, against Colleen and Kim and then won. I mean, it would have been bad. It would have been absolutely dire for them.
Also, what wasn't good that Johnny had said was, like, the only thing that I don't want to do is go against Olivia and Horacio. And I'd be like, okay, so the only person that you're most likely to go up against is Olivia and Horacio. Perfect. Yeah. Like, so that was also a walking living mistake moment, but he's out of there. So cardio is not your vibe, Johnny. So out of the two teams that are left, I am going to go with Fessel and Mariah.
I'm intrigued where you put them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna roll my eyes, but I think that I'm gonna speak about them potentially being at Earn Their Stripes. Now, as soon as I saw this challenge go down, I was like, this is theirs to lose. Like, I had a feeling that they were going to do well. You know, they're both seemingly very, like, he's tall, we know, and she seems to be quite tall, both athletic, has cardio to a certain degree. I just thought that they were going to do really well, and they did. And I would say that they earned their stripes, because in the sense that, like, I don't really count Fessy as like a challenger to be scared of, but he's already showed in 3 episodes now that he's capable of winning a daily. And so I'm going to put him at earned their stripes. I can be convinced elsewhere for sure.
I personally, like, the fan in me that is not a Fessel fan. Gosh, I'd say that 10 times.
Fessel fan,
but
fan.
I'm not a Fessel fan. So personally, I have a problem with this. But coming at this from just the episode, where they sit at the end of this episode, moving forward, yes, he made a pretty bland decision by putting in all rookie teams. Basically went to the Johnny Bananas school of vets on how to play this game kind of thing once you have power. But in making this bland move, he made a move. He decided, I'm fully in with the vets. I'm not going to nominate any one of them. And I think he solidified that. He solidified his numbers where he stands with Bananas, Jordan, Casey, Nani, all of them, as well as none of the pairs that he threw in are necessarily like looking to come at him at this point. At least not Colleen and Kim, not Tommy and Annalise, maybe Olivia and Horacio if they ever went into power. I just feel like they did so well in the daily challenge to where Mariah wasn't even that tired at the end. I mean, we had Olivia and Horacio. Olivia was rough. I mean, we even had the cardio is not my vibe because of her. And then Raven gave everything she got out of that daily challenge and was on the floor, and they won. But Mariah and Fessel were like pumping each other up. They went up, they went down, they moved their barrels, and they were fine. And I think that they worked really well together. So I think the person in me, just looking at this from a very objective standpoint, I think that I agree that they definitely earned their stripes from this.
Oh, Thana's gonna kill us. But I think that for this episode, he could be Pussy Chicken next episode easily. I have to. Yeah, I agree. Like he earned his stripes for this episode. I know that Fessy should never be at the top, but he did what it takes to be at the top for this episode. I'm sorry. He did win. It's Fessy, we need to be objective, she says. We don't need to be objective. No, we do. I mean, we're doing it week by week, right? So it's possible for him to fall to the bottom again. So don't worry. I'm sure that he won't last there. But for this week, I think it's a right spot for him.
Knowing us two, he will find his way falling lower on the board as we go along.
For sure. All right, where do you want to place Horacio and Olivia?
Man, we last week when they won the daily challenge with major help, we put them in earn their stripes category. And to me, I want to put them there again. I think that they are really solid competitors. They won this elimination. I get it. People can say they won with a ton of help. What will they do when they don't have help? They went into a double-decker hall brawl. Olivia absolutely demolished Raven every single time, knocked her out of her shoes twice, and Horacio only lost once against Johnny, and that was miraculous. I thought that they are performing really solidly. They came in right behind Johnny and Raven in their heat, getting second place in their heat, and they're just like really strong. I have a really strong bond. I love their energy. I love their vibes, and they just feel like, and they're not making deals. They're not over talking. They're not overextending themselves. They got called out. They called out Tommy and Annalise on their way to winning. And to me, I think they're going to go into elimination more times than not. But I feel strongly about them that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with as we go along in this game. Hopefully they stay long.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Earn their stripes is the spot to be in. Earning it in the sense they've gone down twice now and come back out. And also we're very competitive in the daily challenge this week as well. I believe they were ahead of Johnny and Nani. They're in that heat, correct?
Yes. They were going up against 4 teams with at least one champ, and then Johnny and Raven, who already won the daily. That like they were in a stacked heat, and they were second place.
So, I mean, that alone, I think that what we could debate here is, are they ahead of Fessy and Mariah? I think so, personally. I think that, I enjoy them more. I also want Thana to be a little bit happier with us here, that they're not top. We don't have Fessila in the top. Horacio and Olivia, yeah, they are the rookie team they've earned their stripes. They still will have to go down, like you mentioned, but like they are likable. They're getting that call to come back. Like they are kind of like the new era of challengers. And I'm happy to see it. I think that that's fully earned their stripes. Getting the call back, knowing that you're going to get the call, I think it's definitely earning your stripes. So I'm placing them ahead of Fessy and Mariah.
The only thing, just to play devil's advocate for a second, Fessel made a move to where he is fully in with the vets, and I don't think we'll be seeing an elimination anytime soon. Where I feel like Olivia and Horacio, who are absolutely killing it, I do think that they will see at least 1 to 2, possibly 3 more. I mean, if the vets keep winning and sending them down into the draw, I feel like, could we see Wes and Casey and Sarah Grayson's record be kind of tempted to be tied for 5 elimination wins? Because I just don't see a week that they're not going to be nominated if vets are continuing to win and throw them in over and over and over again. I just feel that they could win against teams like Tommy and Annalise, Colleen and Kim, if they were sent into elimination against teams like that.
But if they win the next daily, like I could see them throwing in Fessel and Mariah. And
oh yeah,
I mean, we haven't seen how well-rounded Fessel is, and so maybe they'll get something that's not in his wheelhouse.
The only thing is they're only like, it's them and Jay and Michelle, right? And maybe Colleen and Kim as well. Like those are the only 3 teams that would not maybe say each other's names. Anybody else would throw in Olivia and Horacio. So the numbers are very much stacked against them.
Well, we just got Kip and Klaus's approval here.
Well, you did. I'm still playing devil's advocate.
MV saying like, but isn't this about the current episode, Drew? They absolutely should be over Fessy and Mariah. All right.
Fessel winning a daily challenge against 7 other people, but Olivia and Horacio win just a day elimination against Johnny and Raven. They got sent in. Fessel was nowhere near possibly going home. Horacio and Olivia were. I'm just, again, devil's advocate. I love Olivia and Horacio. I went.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
All out for him last week. I'm just saying.
You're right.
Now I'm the villain.
You are the villain.
Halloween episode.
You are the villain. You are. What is it? Am I the villain? Am I the bad guy? Well, I'm sorry, guys. I have to agree with Drew here, the villain of the episode. Drew is on thin ice, but I have to agree with him for the fact that this the devil does not need an advocate. Drew, you are shaking up this live. Oh my goodness. Nobody is going to like this. Klaus is disappointed in you, Drew. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, that's why he's Robin, not Batman. Oh boy, people are coming for you, Drew. But they do say that you're already a better villain than Fessy. Now, I know that it's not where we want them, and I did make a concerted effort to get Olivia and Horacio at the top, but I do have to say that with Drew's evil cackle over there, that yeah, like they were not in any position of going home. They made the decisions. They padded their the rookie the vets to like them. I don't think that the rookies are going to be necessarily they're going to be intimidated by him, I think, and not want to throw him in. He does have all these women that he's kind of talking to that, yeah, he could throw them in, but like I don't think that they would throw him in, and so he's in a better position. It's true. It's true. I'm sorry, guys. Joshua says, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Drew, you are the villain. You are the villain.
Oh, this is my arc. I need a Drew's cult now.
Ooh, Matthew, though, coming in. Fessel and Mariah's confessionals being painfully boring should bump them down a tad. Justice for Horacio and Olivia. Ooh. I think
I'll be back in November. Trust me, my Olivia and Horacio love will be back up. I was just trying to be a little bit more spicy to be this episode. I don't want anything unaired drama. I wanted to bring it all up to the forefront.
Okay, so, well, I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully, next month we will see Fessy where he should be, lower in these rankings. So I do have a little game that we can just throw in here now. And it's going to be finish the sentence. So you're going to kind of have to fill in the blank with either the sentence or the words or the word or the words that completes the sentence. How do you feel? Do you want me to set you up with like who said it? Or do you want to just go in blind and just complete it and name who said it?
I guess we could do the second one just to add more to it. I don't think I'm not as like ready for this one as I was last week, so I'm actually very nervous.
Okay. Okay, let's I have quite a few. So let's see. The first one is, you made me look like a blank in front of the entire house. You can ask for help, and that would be the person that said it.
I know it's Raven that said it.
Correct.
I want to say idiot.
And it was a clown. You made me look like a clown in front of the entire house.
That's right.
So fill in the blank here, but they are absolutely blank through this challenge.
They were absolutely. Oh, man. I don't know who said it. And I want to say trash. I don't know.
But they are absolutely screaming through this challenge, said by Johnny Bananas. Fill in the blank. Big blank blank vibes.
Oh. Shoot. I know Nani says it at one point, but somebody else says it as well. It's total Big Brother vibes. Devin? Does Devin say it first and then Nani backs up on it?
Exactly. You got it. Big Brother vibes. 100%. Does that mean our blank 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 is canceled?
This was Fessy talking to Colleen saying, is our hot tub time now canceled?
Ding, 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 ding. Correct. I'm back, hungry as ever, and I'm looking for my blank.
Is that Jordan and Win?
Close. Jordan is correct. I'm back hungry as ever, and I'm looking for my crown, is what he
Crown.
actually said. He said
That's right.
crown.
Shoot.
Um, Fessel means the blank in blank.
The decision maker in Arabic.
Correct. Blank blank has retired? Question mark.
Shoot. Blank Blank has retired. I'm gonna say okay, I know. Casey and Messy Fessy.
Yes,
Gosh,
you
why was that
got
so
it.
hard?
Girl is blank getting shoved.
This is Jack, I believe. And oh man, girl is getting flung out of her shoes. Oh man. Girl is strained getting shoved.
Nope, girl is barefoot getting shoved.
Oh,
But
that's
yes,
right.
it was Jack. When you see a really strong pair, they're only as good as their blank.
Yeah. That's got to be, I think that's Devin who said that they're, gosh, I can't remember where the blank was, but he was saying for when doing the challenge, as long as I have, your pair is as good as their bond or something.
Bond is correct. Yeah. Good job. And Colleen is the most blank girl I've ever seen in my life.
Beautiful.
Pretty.
So,
close.
Use a better word.
Oh, this is not a blank, but who did Olivia kiss at the club?
Tommy.
Yes, correct. This game is for $1 million. So yes, blank and blank. I'm okay with that.
Oh my gosh. I kind of blinked out for a second. Literally and figuratively.
This game is for $1 million. So yes, blank, comma,
okay,
blank. I'm okay with that.
I know it's Annalise, and it's from the bar scene. She talks about lying and backstabbing.
That's the
she's
two
okay
words
with that.
I was looking for. Yes, lying and backstabbing. Correcto. Yes, I'm 1,000% a blank player.
Olivia, and she says good.
And it was Tommy, and he's a political player.
Oh, yeah. Political player. And then the devilish grin.
Exactly. What else do I want to say? That's what he was blanking me. That's what he was telling me before we got here.
Okay. I think it's Raven talking about Johnny. And that's what he was telling me before we got here?
Feeding me, Drew. Feeding me.
It's too easy. It was too easy with telling.
I think early on it's important to blank, blank, blank.
I'm gonna say, well, she didn't get what a confessional. Jay, and he says, eat, sleep, poop.
No. Fessel says, I think early on it's important to stay under the radar. What was I going to say? Oh, the toughest part about walking back into this house is blanking blank.
Oh my gosh, man. my brain is just like totally not coming up with anything. It's either Anissa or Jordan because they came in this episode. So I'm gonna say Jordan, and it's gonna be dealing with baggage.
Close. Jordan is correct, but is seeing Tori is the correct answer
Oh
there.
yeah, seeing Tori.
Am I going to get blank? Are we going to blank?
Oh man. Are we gonna blank? You know, like are we gonna I'm gonna say Horatio, and he's like, no, that's not it. I don't know. I'm gonna pass on this one.
Dabu is on the right track. So Tori
Ah,
says, am I going to get closure? Are we going to talk? That was the correct
gotcha.
answer.
Dang, that didn't even come up to my brain. What the heck?
That's okay. It's an absolute amazing blank to watch.
I'm gonna say Elimination and Jordan.
Bananas, and it was an absolute train wreck to watch. And he's talking about Messy Fessy and his 4-girl roster.
You know what? Bananas came to my brain, and I was like, no, it can't be. I thought of Jordan when he was like all hyped up, and then they did the boxing card in front. Man.
All right, I'll give you Bananas again, saying Horatio and Johnny look like they're both shot out of a
Cannon.
Yeah, might have been cannons, but yes, I might have set that up wrong. Yay! Do I have any more? Ooh, I'm channeling my inner blank blank.
I don't know why, but bad bitch came to my brain.
Close.
I don't know why.
No, not really, but
What was it?
It was Olivia saying, I'm channeling my inner Jenna Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's all that we have time for today. You did better last week. This was a little bit more challenging, absolutely, but still great job, Drew. You're amazing.
I only watched it 3 times this week, I feel. So I wasn't as attuned as I watched it 4 times last week. But the blanks did make it trickier.
Definitely trickier, but I'm gonna try to trick you again so you can't outgame me. Well, hopefully I'll think of something new to stump you with next week.
It's what I deserve after putting
me through 3 hours of
over.
Hell. Oh.
Yeah, kidding. That too. But also the Fessel thing that everybody said I was in my villain error.
All right, Drew. Well, this is the end of our little chit chat today. Do you have anything that you want to share with the people about what's going on in your world on your channel?
So I will be doing the same old. I'll be doing stuff on patreon.com/angelcakevids. We're going live Saturday night, as well as Wednesdays. I'll be dropping a Patreon video. Monday will be a short as well as an edited version of this live on my channel, going up at around 11 a.m. And then I'm going to be doing a challenge video, a clip video, come Tuesday. Thursdays, of course, are review and recaps for the Challenge 38 episodes that week, as well as Tiny Table Talk. Then Fridays nights, we'll be back here talking about the power rankings for the challenge Ride or Dies.
My favorite time of the week is Fridays. So thank you, Drew, for being here. Obviously, thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys definitely make this conversation so much fun. It's always such a good time coming here and talking about the challenge and their power rankings. And, we never talked about the points.
Oh.
You want to quickly just say that?
Yeah, we didn't go over the fantasy teams. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay. All right. I'll just get into it.
Mm.
In third place, staying in third place, Team Chris. He had 59 points last week. He goes up a whopping 40 points thanks to Fessel and Mariah heading his team now. He has 89 total points, but that is no match for us two, who are now in the triple digits. And in second place, we have Team Chantele from 65 points last week, jumping all the way up to 108 points this week. Your team's total point score is Bananas and Nani, but you did lose Johnny and Raven this episode, who are tied in points with Bananas and Nani, which is absolutely incredible. Both have 38 total points. You need Amber and Chauncey and Casey and Kenny to start picking things up, though.
Oh my God.
I'm just
Why
going
did
to
I
say
do
that.
this? So silly. So silly of
And then
me.
my team is in first place. Thanks for Anissa and Jordan for absolutely coming on to the season and doing some confessionals, doing something. And I go from 98 points last week to now jumping up to 143 points this week.
Wow.
So I am in the lead by 35 points, but it's still anybody's game. And we'll see what's going to happen moving forward.
All right. Well, good job, Drew. Robin stealing the title this episode, the biggest villain, and also leading the pack. So, are you also a hero at the same time with having the most points in our fantasy draft?
Maybe I'm an
Well,
anti-hero. I'm
ooh.
blurring the lines. That's what's in
Oh,
nowadays.
Banania and Nominee is definitely carrying my team, but my team, I'm not that confident about my team anymore. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared that it's going to plummet quite shortly. But we will be watching it all plummet together when we come back here next week. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, like this video. Let us know if Drew is a true villain right now. Do you really think that Fessel needs to have been second place and that Horacio and Olivia needed to be in first place this episode? Let us know in the comments. We can continue on with the conversation. Other than that, happy Halloween, and we'll see you next week. See you in November.